Hello, CPI community. Hello, Ellis. Hello, Kevin, Giovanna, Leslie.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Allison.
Good evening.
Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I know there'll be more that will join us. We are kicking off the 5-day listing challenge. How to take listings in today's market without cold calling, door knocking, or begging. And my name is Dan Roshan. I'll introduce myself a little bit more to you here in a few moments. And before we get started, may I ask for your help? Would it be okay if I asked you guys for your help? Yes? Okay. Yeah. Well, I see some of you nodding, so I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those of you that may be nodding, who we would love to see your beautiful, shiny, smiling faces. Thank you, Giovanna, because it is proven that students who have their videos on take more listings, and it has been proven that those who take more listings make more money. And after all, we're here to take more listings. Hello, Afton. Nice to see you. So I'm going to ask that we're going to be adding each one of you to the to a Facebook chat. So I want to let you guys know that. So if anybody's not comfortable with that, just send a message in the chat box, and we'll make sure that we don't bug you on the on that messaging board. And otherwise, you can always remove yourself as well. But it's intended to be a resource, and it's where some of the workbooks and handouts and all the scripts are going to be delivered to you. So we have some more people joining us. Hello, Andres. Hello, Julie. Hello, Tracy, Shannon, Glenda, Ellis. If I didn't shout out your name, I'm going to say hello to you. So again, I'm going to invite for you to turn on your videos. So you cannot even imagine, this is, I think, the 17th time that I've done this listing challenge presentation. And this class, you can't even imagine, for those of you that really dive in and really do the work, you cannot imagine on the way that this can potentially change your business. I'm going to show you during the next 5 days exactly how to take listings in today's market. Who here would benefit? Who would like to know how to take more listings in today's market? Take yourself off mute and say, yay, yes, me. All right.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
Me. Absolutely. All right. Fantastic. Me too. And Glenda gives us a palm. We got a palm from Glenda. Oh, that wasn't like a palm that hit me in the forehead. I thought that was, I think that's a palm to say, hey, hello. Me, says Les. All right. Fantastic. So why does it matter that you take this class? We already know that right now in our industry, it's one of the toughest times, at least it's been one of the toughest times since I've been in business since 2007, to be able to find listings. If you've been in business over the last 2.5 years, you know that it's been really, really challenging to be able to work with a buyer. Would you guys agree with that? It's been really challenging to work with buyers over the last 2.5 years since the start of the pandemic? Right. And so because of that, it's even more important today than ever before that you know how to take listings. And this week, you're going to discover how to do so. Now, here's the promise that I have to you. We've been tracking, I mentioned to you, this is the 17th presentation that I've done, and we've been tracking the student success. And we've been tracking those that attend all 5 days of the presentation, that do the activities, and show up on day 5, have an increase of an average of 1.8 listings during the 5-day challenge. And we predict that those that then go on for the follow-up for the coaching, that they will receive an additional $67,000 to $225,000 in net income, depending on your marketplace. So if you're in a marketplace like mine, it looks like about $225,000 increase in revenue, and not revenue, but net in your pocket. And if you're in a market where it's really, really low price point, $67,000. So I'm not sure if CPI is for you or is not for you, but I certainly know that having an additional $225,000 in your real estate sales business will benefit you. Would you guys all agree to that? Does anybody not agree with that? You guys good with this? Are we aligning right now? All right, fantastic. So who is this presentation for? So this is for agents like me who want to have business every single month. This is for agents who want to have closings. Just like I've had closings in my business since 2008 with an average of 10 sales every single month since 2008. Now, what we're not going to do throughout this presentation is show you my way. I'm happy to show you my way, but what I know is more effective is for us to help you to discover your way. Because the reality of it is my way is not going to probably work for you. It may work for some, but it won't work for all. But you know whose way will work for all? Your way. So I'm not like those other gurus or coaches will come out here and say, hey, go, knock on doors, go cold call, go beg your friends for business. Instead, I'm going to give you choices. I'm going to give you options so that we're going to discover your God-given skill set during this class. And we're going to be able to deeply dive into unleashing your talents. You guys all good with that? Are you okay to be able to unleash your talents? You guys good? All right. So I want you to imagine right now that $67,000 to $225,000 extra in your pocket in the next 12 months. And I want you to imagine, like, how does that make you feel? Do you feel safe? Do you feel proud? Do you feel significant? Maybe having the setup to have no broke months in your business will allow for you to demonstrate to someone in your life, maybe even yourself, that you are worthy. My goal during these 5 days is to help guide you to being able to have that worth, to be able to have that faith in yourself. Who's this class not for? CPI only accepts, we have a policy that we only accept nice people. We only accept people who are willing to be authentic and coachable and people who are ready to take actions. So agents who understand that this is a business, they understand that this is an opportunity for you to really make a difference in your life and your legacy and your business. And I'm here to guide you how to understand how to be a business person first and a real estate agent second. So summed up in a word, who is this not for? This is not for assholes. So if you're an asshole, go ahead and click the button right now. I'm seeing who clicked off. I didn't see, I only lost 3 people that time. All right, fantastic. So if you're here to fill your time so that you can justify your day, this isn't the right course for you. If you're here to say, like, hey, I did something today, I attended the CPI training, this isn't for you. If you're here to learn and take action, make a difference in your life, change your destiny, change your legacy, help the people around you who rely on you, help yourself, this is the right class for you. And so this class is for those of us that understand the difference that $67,000 to $225,000 can make in our worlds. And the only thing that I'm going to ask from you is that you be open-minded as you take the class, because those that remain open-minded will be able to see opportunity that you otherwise would not see. Once upon a time, I owned a real estate brokerage. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that here in a second. But it was a very, very large real estate brokerage. And when I was the owner of that brokerage, we studied the production of real estate agents. And what we noticed was that there was a certain pattern in most agents' businesses. You had the most common pattern, which would be no business at all, unfortunately. And then you would have the pattern of lots and lots of business, right? But those people, they never had any time. the top producing real estate agents in our industry, in our marketplace, they would be just, working 18 hours a day and just in a position where they just did not have the time. And time, as you understand, is one of your most valuable assets. Time, health, money, relationship. Those are all things that mean something. Then we saw this middle pattern. This middle pattern that I have up on the slide here would be no closing in January, no closing in February. Woo, I got a closing in March. Nothing, nothing, nothing. June, I got a closing. Nothing, nothing. 3 closes in October, nothing, and a closing in December. And this is the pattern that we would recognize in many, many agents' businesses. If this looks a little bit like your business, you're completely normal, okay? Just so you guys know. And my job, my goal is to be able to help you have so that there's a check mark in every single one of those boxes every single month of your career. Because it's not your fault that nobody ever gave you a framework to be able to follow, to be able to understand how is it that I can have those wins every single month for the rest of my career. So I want to make an invitation to you right now to invite you into the CPI family. What is CPI? CPI is consistent predictable income. And it's the only method, the only system in real estate sales and real estate sales coaching that teaches you how to use your way so that you have no broke months. All agents want CPI. All agents want no broke month. So why would I invest 5 days into teaching you? So real estate has been really generous to me. And I'm going to share, as I mentioned to you, I'm going to share with you a little bit more about that here in a few moments. And this business has been generous to me, and selling has been a generous opportunity that I've been able to benefit from. And understanding how to have consistent, predictable income has been something that I've been blessed to have. I'm going to be vulnerable and I'm going to be authentic to you over these 5 days. I'm going to share with you the methods to succeed, but I'm also going to be willing to share with you my mistakes that I've made and the consequences as a result of that. And what I understand is that this industry that we are all in has the opportunity to be able to create wealth. Who here wants to make more money? Who here wants to create wealth? If you want to create wealth, you are in the business that you could do so. My in-laws, we go swimming at their pool. They just opened up their pool. And this wasn't recently, this was last summer. We were swimming there, and one of their neighbors who's become a pretty good friend of mine is a heart surgeon. And we're sitting there, and fantastic guy. He's got, I think, 4 or 5 kids. He's got a bunch of kids. And we're swimming at the pool, and we have this conversation. Now, this is not a neurosurgeon, a heart surgeon. And we're having this conversation, and somewhere or another, it turned into money. And I recognized when we started talking about money that I make more money than he does. Get what I just said. This guy went to school for almost 2 decades because he originally got his doctor, his ability to become a doctor in Bangladesh. And then he moved to the United States. And so he then had to go through like another 6 years of schooling on top of the other, 18 years or whatever it was that he went previously. One of the most educated men in the world. And I make more money than he does. Now, is that right? I think he should make a lot of money, right? I mean, he certainly did what he did to get to earn it. But so did I. I just went to a different school. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Now, I really think he should make more money. Just being transparent with you guys, just being honest with you. But I'm grateful, not that for a comparison's sake, I'm grateful that I have the ability to be able to make a nice living. And so I asked, do you want to remove uncertainty in your life? Do you want to stop working all the hours? Because if you do, then I'm going to ask for you to be all in over these next 5 days. I'm going to pour into you over these next 5 days to be able to show you exactly how to do this. I'm going to ask for you to love yourself over these 5 days. I'm going to ask for you to care for yourself over these 5 days. I'm going to ask and I'm going to invite you to do the work. My goal over these 5 days is to give you so much value that you will consider CPI and the CPI community to help you in your business. And there's lots of different ways that we can do that. One of those ways will be a 3-day boot camp that we're going to be hosting in 2 weeks time on June 20, 21st, and 22nd. And that's going to be from noon Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern time. Those dates are June 20, 21st, and 22nd. And I'm going to ask for you to mark your calendars now, even if you don't anticipate to attend. Just in case if you want to attend, when you see the value, see how I can help you this week. And that way we can block that on your schedule and you can save yourself a seat. And the investment for that, I'll tell you up front, is $97. Okay. So if $97, if you're not willing to pay me $50,000 at the end of this, if you had it, I know you may not have it, right? But my goal is to give you so much value that you'd be willing to invest that much money into me helping you. Here's a preview of coming attractions, and I'll only ask for $100, just so you know. All right, pretty simple. All right, a preview of coming attractions. On Monday, I'm going to introduce myself. That's today. I'm going to share with you who I am, and together we're going to discover your why. We're going to come out today with a very awesome exercise that's going to help you to be able to put a foundation for you to have success. On Tuesday, tomorrow, I'm going to introduce you to the CPI framework that you're going to use to be able to make sales. And we're going to look at the different options of how you can make sales. So remember, I already shared with you that we're going to discover your way, not mine. And we're going to discover that tomorrow. We're going to discover how can you make sales. On Wednesday, we're going to deep dive into my way of how I'm able to get hired 85% of the time and how I'm able to attend 100 or so listing appointments every single year and get hired 85% of those times. And I'm going to show you on Wednesday how we're going to literally go to a response of F off, Dan, except it was an F, to a 5-star review. And I'm going to walk you step by step how I did that. I'm going to show you every single step of how I went from an F off to a 5-star. And then on Thursday, we're going to deep dive into a scientific hack that's going to allow for you to discover how to break that pattern of getting the same results over and over and over and over again. And how you can break the cycle so that you can be the best version of yourself. And then on Friday, we're going to deep dive into how you can instantly connect with others. We're going to review the 3 tactics of the week. So we'll do a little bit of a review and we will share with you, I will share with you 10 things that cost you 0 money and 0 talent. So now I just eliminated any potential buts. Because I'm going to show you how you could do this with no talent. If you are horrific with 0 talent, 0 experience, 0 money, I'm going to show you 10 things that you can do on Friday. The tactics that we're going to teach you are going to be taught in the CPI coaching portal. You're going to get an email for the CPI coaching corner about 25 minutes from right now. Check your email. And if you don't receive that, don't check it during the course, right? Check it at 1 o'clock Eastern time. If you don't receive that email, go ahead and send us a message. I think it's training at the CPIcommunity.com. Leslie put that email in there. So check that, jot down that email address. And if you have any challenges at all, technically throughout the 5 days, that would be, go ahead and send them an email. You can also send on the Facebook chat that we're going to have set up any challenges that you're having technically in there as well. And I'm going to be monitoring that chat to be able to answer your questions during the 5 days to whatever you need help with. Why are you here? I'm going to ask for you guys to take yourself off mute, and I'm going to ask a couple questions for you. So who would be willing to right now share with us, why are you here today?
Me.
Me. Go me.
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 What's
your name?
From South Africa.
Oh, what's your name?
I'm Tanya.
Tanya from South Africa. And all right. Thank you for being with us.
So in South Africa, things are not going so great at the moment. And I need some guidance from abroad to think differently about things in South Africa.
Okay. Tanya, what I could tell you is I've coached many agents in South Africa. There's more things common with the way that we do business than almost any other country in the world. So this challenge will absolutely help you. And I didn't know that until I started coaching. And I started coaching a lot of people that would show up and they're from South Africa. And at first I'm like, okay, I hope this works.
I'm sure it will work, because you know what? If it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't be in this industry. But with all the hotels closing down here by us, I sat without an income for almost 2 years. And then a friend of mine said, why don't you go into real estate? You always wanted to give people a place to live. So if you do it with real estate, you still do what your passion is. So I'm enjoying what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just not sure how to do it. So if you want to stay ahead of the pack, you listen to the big dog sing.
All right, let's do it. I'm not that big, by the way. I've lost 15 pounds recently. All right, who's next? Why are you here?
Well done.
Why are you here? Who's next?
Steve.
I want to go. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Steve and then March. Go ahead, Steve. I heard Steve first. Hi, March. Nice to see you.
Hello. Go ahead, Steve.
Sorry about that. I'm a 1.5 year agent. Just need to get out of the full-time job. I'm a dual career agent, and I need to put some plans in action, and I need the plans and the assistance to get there.
I will give you the plan and the assistance to get there, Steve. What's your full-time job?
I'm a service technician for a hospital in Detroit.
Okay. May I make a suggestion to you?
Quit right now.
No, not yet. Consider, instead of sharing with us what you need, share with us what you choose, so that whatever's driving that need is fulfilled. Because the word need is a lacking word. So you could transform yourself to a position of power by saying, I'm choosing to leave my full-time job as an electric tech in Detroit, and I'm choosing to do this as a full-time job so that I can achieve my goals. And those goals, whatever those are going to be what's driving that, like that sincere, like I could hear the fire in it. Like I hear you're like, I need to freaking do this, right? Like I get it.
Yeah, I get it. I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
The I guess you could say the leash to the full-time job is holding me back.
Got it. I got you.
I'm swarmed with buyers. The past 2 weeks, I'm a go-getter. I'm not going to get into all the detail, but I drove over 1,000 miles within 3 days showing houses.
Steve, you will be successful in this business. I give you a 100% guarantee. You got to figure out how to do it, but you have the ability to do it. I know that in 30 seconds of meeting you, and I've coached thousands of agents. I've taught thousands and thousands of agents. Okay. Now, take that desire that you have of that need. That's like a freaking, like, that's like a boom, that's driving you. And now instead choose. And now you could control that energy then rather than letting that energy control you.
Absolutely.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
All right. We got you. March. Hello, March. March, who was your favorite? Wait. Every time I see you, we have to have this conversation. March, who was your favorite principal's instructor, teacher ever?
Dan Roshan.
Okay.
It was like, when was that? 2015, my first Mosley class. He was my teacher. I passed the test the first try, but unfortunately I got divorced, went through a lot. So I had license, but I really never did it. But I have a job. I took a second job and I did my master's degree, but eventually I know I will never be a millionaire working for someone else. So right now, my schedule is I have 3 jobs. I work from 6 to around 3 o'clock with, I have a master's in healthcare management for a pharmaceutical company, but in between I can do real estate follow-ups, right? And I'm a realtor, helping buying and selling and renting, but I'm also a wholesaler. I have access to properties all over the US. So I flip houses, I do novations. For some reason, I learned that. So I was able to sell properties in Georgia, New York. I can find properties. So I love that area, but it's it's hard. It's so freaking hard. But I like to be better at this because my regular job found out that I'm a realtor, and I was in a hot seat. They say, "Oh, are you selling real estate?" So I told my boss, "Would you give me 3 months? I'm gonna put in my 3 months." So I'm here. I'm scared. Then I'm getting I get paid almost 6-digit working from home. It's a beautiful job, but I'm so scared because I'm single. I was a military spouse, left everything. I started from scratch 5.5 years ago, and so I own 2 homes now. I bought properties off market, wholesale, and kept 2, and so I don't want to lose my mortgage. So there's fear in me. So I'm at a crossroad right now.
March, you're
Yes.
perfectly normal. I've been afraid myself. Okay, I completely get that. By the way, who here is willing to be authentic? I promise you guys that I'd be vulnerable and authentic. Who here is scared right now? All right, you see that, March?
Yes.
Right? Like, this is a no BS class, right? This isn't like I'm going to sit there and tell you how, right? Like, yeah, I want to empower you. Yes, I want to inspire you. Yes, I want you to see the opportunity. And I want to take that fear and put it aside as well. And I want to acknowledge the fear and let you know you don't have to be ruled by that fear. Thank you for those of you who shared why you're here. I'm going to suggest to you that the real reason why you're here is because you believe that I can help you. Because ultimately, if you didn't believe I could help you, you wouldn't be here. Because you wouldn't invest the time to be able to be here today if you didn't think that there could be some way that you could learn how to be successful, or how to get past that fear, or how to leave that full-time job, or how to be able to enter into a new business to be able to understand how to do the sales if you didn't believe that I could help you. I'm going to show you this week how to get sellers to show up because that they believe that you can help them. The same way that you showed up because you believe that I can help you. Hopefully, you're paying attention to that one little nugget I just gave you right there. Hopefully, you just got to say, oh, wait, yeah, I'm here because I think this dude can help me. So how do I then create it so that a seller has that same feeling about me? I'm going to show you how to do that this week. I want you to ask yourself, how is it that you show up in the world? Because the way that you show up in the world, which is why I said to Steve, dude, you got this. And Mark, you got this as well. And Tanya, you got this as well. Because the way that you show up is you're willing to be vulnerable. You're willing to take action. You're willing to be out front. We're going to focus on helping you to harness that energy. What is my goal for you? My goal is that you understand that you could do this. Every single one of you understands that you could do this. I want you to understand that you could do this your way. Like I said to you, the gurus, I think they have it all wrong. I hear the gurus on all, you'll go on LabCoat, go on even the Consistent Predictable Income community on Facebook. Go on to the different places and you see people saying, hey, here's the way to do this. Go use video, go bang on doors, go beg for business. I've got a folder in my other room over here that is it looks something like, let's see, this isn't quite right, but it looks something like this right here. But it's not as thick and it's a white folder. And it's this for sale by owner coaching guide that a guy that used to work for me paid a whole lot of money for. And you know what the coaching guide over there says? It says basically go and badger for sale by owners until they either punch you in the face or hire you. Does that work? It works for that coach. Doesn't work for me though. Doesn't work for me. I'm going to teach you how to actually get for sale by owners. I'll give you if I could show you in 10 seconds how to help with for sale by owner, would that be a good 10 seconds of our time to sort of divert? You guys okay with that?
Yep.
Here's my for sale by owner class. You guys ready for it? If I could introduce you to somebody right now who 100% has identified that they want to sell and they've not yet hired an agent, would you want me to introduce them to you? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, who did I just describe?
A for sale by owner.
A for sale by owner. That's the general concept. Now here's how. Instead of going to go hound them for their business, like all your competition will, instead go there and create a relationship. You go there, create a relationship, and you're creating a relationship with who? Somebody that's already 100% raised their hand, says, I want to sell, yet they have not yet hired an agent. So you're putting yourself in the pathway of that person and then creating a relationship with he or she or them. That's the for sale by owner strategy in a nutshell. Now, when you get the email later today and you visit the training portal, I'm going to start to show you step by step on how to do that. So just so you guys are all aware, the heavy lifting in this class comes outside the class. There's a training portal. You're going to have a video on there. It's going to give you directions. It's going to give you instruction. Follow the instruction. We'll talk more about that here in a few minutes. That's where the heavy lifting is going to go. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do what I just said in that 10 seconds of here's how to help a for sale by owner. Create a relationship with somebody who's already raised their hand that says, hey, I want to sell, and has not yet hired an agent. Does that seem like something that could possibly work? Well, for some of us, yes. For some of us, no. For me, it works about maybe 6 times a year. Could it work more for me? Yes, but I don't have the time to invest to do more of it. I'm out of time. I'm tapped. Okay. But 6 of the 79 listings last year that I took were for sale by owners. There is your way to make sales though. And you're going to discover that in this class. And when you participate with the Consistent Predictable Income coaching, you're going to realize your way to make sales every single month. And I want you to focus on your time doing what you enjoy, what you love to do, because then you'll actually do it. What will you get from attending this class? You're going to discover your way. You're going to get the step-by-step instruction. You're going to get a plan to be able to have closings every single month. And you're going to know how to find listings in one of the most competitive markets ever. I should probably introduce myself. We're 35 minutes into the class and I haven't even told you who I am. So who am I? My name is Dan Rochon, and I am just a normal guy who has figured out how to make real estate sales. Before I got my license, I worked in a world-class steakhouse in Washington, D.C. as a waiter. This was in 2007. And in 2007, of course, right before the market crashes, I knew at that time that I wanted to be somebody to be able to help people. I've always been an entrepreneur in spirit, but I never saw how. I was the kid, I'd go and get my car washed when I was 17 years old. And I'd be like clocking, like, how many cars are these guys washing an hour? So I would like time it, like, okay, they're going to wash my car. It's going to be 30 minutes. Okay. I just multiply that by 2. And I start counting, how many people do they have here? How much do I think the rent is? How much are the utilities? And I would sit there as a 17-year-old, I would sort of dissect the car wash business and say, hey, is this a good business or not? So I've always had that business mind. But guess what I was missing? Money. I was missing a pathway. I was missing guidance of here's how to do this. So as a waiter in my young 30s, it wasn't until I was so frustrated with working that job of going into the restaurant. I made tons of money, but I hated my job. I hated waking up every morning, showing up at work at 10 a.m. and getting off at 2 a.m. and doing it time and time again. It wasn't at that time we're sitting there literally scooping butters at Eagle Island. This is the Capitol Grill on 6th in Pennsylvania, if anybody knows DC. And we're scooping butters into these ramekins. And my buddy Bill Cribbin says, hey, Dan, have you ever thought about real estate sales? And I think I just stopped. So I started thinking about it. Well, what's it take? It takes 60 hours of a classwork. It takes about $2,000. Now, what's the upside? What's the potential upside? It's potential upside to go in, for whatever. I can make as much money as I could possibly, I don't know what my limitation is. I can help as many people solve their problems and achieve their dreams and their goals. So it wasn't until I was in my early 30s that I recognized, like, holy goodness, like this seems like it makes sense. Now that was 2007. I want to demonstrate to you that if you believe that you cannot do this, pay attention to these next few moments. Because that was 2007. 2005, I was a drunk. 2005, I was ruled by alcohol. That's a photo of me right there in 2005. I get a lot of people look at me and say, hey, Dan, I want to have what you have. I want to be able to do what you do. And you know what my response to that is you can. Because if some drunk waiter could do this, so can anybody. I'll never forget the last day that I woke up before I got sober. And it was April 13th. It was just more than 17 years ago. Was that 2005, I think it was. And I woke up balled up on my townhome floor. And I was balled up in a fetal position with my kidneys shrinking, my liver shrinking, and dehydrated that no water could ever replenish me. And that was the day that I actually made the decision that I'm going to do something different. That was the day that I started to look, which then later caused Bill Cribbin to have that conversation with me when we were scooping those butters at Eagle Island. But that day, that nothing could give me any reprieve, I knew that it was time for a change. That was the day that I got sober. I chose to create my destiny. I went to rehab. I experienced a withdrawal like you can never imagine. Now, why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this with you because wherever you are in your life today, I don't want to compare, but I'm going to tell you I was in a really bad spot in my life. I can tell you on this bookshelf right back there, I've got 3 what they call big books, the books from AA. they're on that bookshelf back there. I never open them up. Why do I never open them up? Because I don't need to. Why do I not need to? Because those 3 books belong to 2 dead relatives and 1 dead best friend, all died from alcoholism. One of my uncles died homeless in Seattle. Another one of my uncles killed himself. My buddy Dave went to the doctor, and the doctor said, if you ever have another drink the rest of your life, you're dead. Next week, he had another drink. 6 months later, he was dead. Doctor was right. So I share this with you so that whatever you're experiencing right now, that you can understand that you can create your destiny. I share this with you because when I decided to create my destiny was when I decided to look, and it wasn't until I got my license. And then when I got my license, that's when I dove all in. And it was 6 months before I had my first closing. And then 6 months later, I get this card in the mail. And that was April 4th, 2008. That was from my broker, Karen. And that's actually upside down because she wrote it upside down, saying that I had finally turned my world upside down. I stayed with my previous brokerage for the next 13 years until the end of 2008. And I've had a lot of great experiences. I owned that brokerage for 10 years. I wrote a book called Real Estate Evolution. If you guys have read it, you understand that this is a blueprint to making sales. It's going to show you the exact step-by-step process to be able to make sales from a guy, me, who wrote this book, that a short 18 months after getting my real estate license, I was able to buy the brokerage that I worked for. That was that drunk guy you just saw there, by the way. So I want to give you today something that's actionable, because that's enough about me. This is all about you. And I want you today is I want you to consider, why is it that you sell real estate? And I want to do a short exercise. And on this short exercise, I want you to consider, why is it that I sell real estate? Not why did you get into real estate? Why do you sell real estate today? We already know why you got into real estate. You got into real estate for money and freedom. That's why you got into real estate. And then you found out, holy goodness, like, this is a little bit harder than what I thought. So I want you to think right now, why is it that you sell real estate? And I want you to think about that from the lowest perspective, the lowest denominator. Not to change the world. We'll get there together. But right now, I just want you to pay your bills. I want you to consider, why is it that I sell real estate? And I want you to get a pen and paper, and I want you to write that down. So I want you to write down on a pen and paper, why do I sell real estate? Is it to pay your bills? Is it to pay your mortgage, to pay your rent? Is it to get a gift for somebody? Is it to show to others that you are worthy? Why is it that you sell real estate? And then I want to ask you another question. Give me about 10 seconds. I'll ask you the next question. So why is it that you sell real estate? Now, the next question that I'm going to ask you is, what's important to you about that? Whatever you just wrote down, what's important to you about that? And now I'm going to invite for you to write down one more answer to one more question. I ask you, why do you sell real estate? And then I ask for you to write down what's important to you about that. And then I want you to look at that last question. And the last question I'm going to, or the last answer, the last question I'm going to ask you is, what's important to you about that? Now, I'm going to encourage for you today to continue writing this down, and your exercises today and your homework or your daily CPI mission that you're going to get the email about is going to dive into this even at a deeper level. And I'm going to ask for you to continue asking yourself that question until it sinks to your heart. I'm going to ask for you to continue asking that question of yourself until you got the answer. And the way that you know the answer, that you got to it, is that your heart will sing with joy, with like a holy, like, yeah, that's it. That's when you know that you got to your answer. And when you get to your answer, I want you to go get a sticky note. And I want you to write that answer down on a sticky note. And then I want you to take that sticky note and I want you to put it on your keyboard of your computer. This is vital for you to succeed in business. This is vital for you to succeed in a scary situation. So that instead of focusing on that fear, you can focus on why the heck am I doing this? Tomorrow, in the next few days this week, you're going to discover how to do this. Before you discover how to do this, you have to know why the heck are you doing this? Because when you discover why you're doing this, the next day that you don't feel like doing the how, or the next day that you feel lazy, I want you to look at that yellow sticky note and then make a decision. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you to be lazy, not to be lazy. I'm not telling you to do your job or not do your job. I'm telling you to be aware. You'll learn this week what your job description is, by the way. If no one's ever told you your job description, stay tuned. I'm not going to go through that today, but I'm going to give you in 5 simple steps what your job description is this week. And what I want you to understand is that it all begins with where we believe in ourselves. This book right here, who's read this book, by the way? Think of Growers by Napoleon Hill. You can tell that this book is a little bit worn. What's the first word in the title of this book? Think. And a part of that thinking is to have faith. Part of that thinking is to have faith in yourself. Because everybody here can do this. You can do this. When you have the faith, you will succeed. You'll have freedom of time. You'll have more money, more respect, more clarity. You'll have a reputation for doing an amazing job of what you do. You may be thinking right now, but Dan, how do you sell more than 100 homes every year? Like, you can do that, but I can't. Okay. I was that drunk 32-year-old almost on my deathbed. That was the guy that was able to figure this out. I have no superpowers to sell over 100 homes every single year. The only thing that I have is the knowledge of how to do it. And then I just do it. And by the way, I only work 5 days a week, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. max. And a day and a half of that is coaching agents. Which, by the way, if you're not being coached right now, I'd love to be able to have the opportunity to do so. We'll talk about that later. And if you are being coached right now, thank you for being here. But I want you to be open-minded. The only thing that I ask in your tuition is that you consider that I can help you, that CPI can help you. That's the only thing I ask for you. And if you're not willing to consider that, then this isn't the right fit. Okay, then just don't come back tomorrow. I say that with love and I say that with care. But I also say it with candor. Is that okay? You guys all right with that? Because I want to freaking help you because you deserve it. And I want to be able to show you how to win, how you can win that buyer before you even meet with them. How you no longer have to cold call, beg, or door knock, and how you could gain the deep respect from others so that you can 10x your wins, 10 times your wins, and do so in your way, not mine. I had a coach once upon a time. I fired him because he made my wife cry. My wife, when we first got into business, we did this together. And you would know this guy's name, by the way. He was young in his coaching business, but you would know him. I promise you would know him. And he told my wife that she had no future in the business, is what this guy told her. And then he told me that I, had big hat, no cattle. And then he was basically telling us to 10X everything. Now, I love Grant Cardone, right? But here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you to 10X it. I'm going to tell you to be smarter. I'm going to tell you to figure out your way to do this so that you can have success on your terms. But you do have to do action. And you do have to do action every single day. Understand what I'm communicating. You guys all get that? But you could do this your way. You could do this so that you can avoid those constant distractions. That you can stop working nonstop. You can stop hustling to keep it all together in a fierce competitive competition. And you have to understand that deep down, you can do this. I promise that you don't need a therapist to figure this out. You just need to be able to discover your way. Because it's not your fault that we went through a pandemic. It's not your fault that there's 0 listings on the market right now. It's not your fault that the interest rates they're at 5.5%. The lowest that they were at was January 2021 at 2.62% for a 30-year fixed mortgage on average. It's not your fault that we're probably at the top of a market right now, probably going for a little bit of a dip. Certainly for us, for a slowdown for sure. And it's not your fault that no one's has not shown you how to do this. So my goal during these 5 days is to be able to show you how to be a business owner first and a real estate agent second. And I'm really good at helping people to take action and inspiring and motivating you. But I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to believe that you can do this because you can. And if you don't have that belief in yourself, borrow my belief that you could do this. Borrow the belief that I have witnessed thousands of others in front of you learn and follow a system and have success. Success leaves clues, and so does failure. It would be wise to pay attention. Because when you pay attention to success and then you emulate what they did, you'll have the same results. Right now, you may be feeling a bit overwhelmed. Hopefully not like right in this moment, but sort of like right in this period of time of your life. Maybe you're experiencing depression, anxiety. Maybe you're experiencing addiction. Maybe you're in a bad relationship. Maybe you don't have faith in yourself. Maybe you're less than perfect. Guess what? We all are. No matter what your situation is, you are normal and you are perfect. And I'm just like you. No matter what your situation is right now, there is a pathway ahead of you so that you could succeed. The biggest lie that you could tell yourself is that you will do this and then let something get in your way. Life got too busy, or this happened or that happened. I encourage you to not let life get in your way, because you can either live a life by design or you can let that life rule you. And I invite for you to consider yourself as a business person first. I invite for you to consider coaching. I invite for you to consider to be coachable. And I invite for you to take your job seriously. And here's the reality of it. My father-in-law, my wife's dad, and I promise it's the last alcoholic story I'll tell you guys, but he went to the doctor with legs and testicles and junk swollen to that big because of the congestive heart failure that he had. And his doctor said to him, David, if you don't stop drinking, you're going to die. And David struggled for the next about 2 or 3 years after that, with his heart basically kept backing up, taking fluids all into his lower body. And David, at the knowledge of knowing that this is potentially death, still didn't make a change. I don't want you to be like David. I don't want you to not succeed, to not achieve your goals, and for him to literally, in his case, die. We're all going to die at some point, right? Hopefully not anything in any of our near futures, right? I want nothing but blessings and love and good health for each one of you. But we know that sometimes even facing something that's dire, something that's detrimental, we still don't make a change. But you're here because you believe in me and you know that I can help you. And the way that I can help you is by you doing the work. The way that I can help you is check out that email in your email box here when you're done here in a few minutes. And the way that I can help you is for you to do the work and show up every single day this week. Now, I haven't taught you a lot today, and I recognize and I understand that. I know most of these classes, they're all here to sell something. I get that. I'm acknowledging that up front. I told you everything I'm going to sell you. It's $97. Like, we got that out of the way. That's it. That's the only thing I'm going to pitch on. Take it or don't. I hope you do because I care for you. But the next 5 days, it's all about how to do this. And in your email box right now, you have the information to be able to begin your success. Are you willing to do the work? Raise your hand if you're willing to do the work. Raise your hand if you're willing to participate this week and be here each day. My only request that I have for you, I'm going to pour all into you, is that you commit to show up, you do the daily CPI mission, you take great notes, you do not wait until the end to start, and that you trust me for the 5 days. And just like those students, and the reason why I said those that are here on the 5th day, we don't measure anybody else. We only measure the success from the 5 days. Average of 1.8 listings per 5-day challenge. And that's what we end up seeing. So you're going to be able to get real results your way. And the last thing I'm going to share with you is today you're going to get I'm going to ask for you to do. Remember, you guys all just committed that you'll do what I say to do. And here's one of the assignments that I'm going to ask for you to do today. I'm going to ask you to take 10 video messages and send 10 video messages to somebody in your world. And I want you to not ask for business. Do not ask for business. Just reach out to 10 people today with just a simple, Allison, hey, I was just thinking about you. Just want to say hi. If you need anything at all, just let me know. Text or send that to them on Facebook. Does everyone understand what that part of the assignment is? Will everybody send 10 video messages today to somebody? Thank you, Andrew. Andrew says yes. I saw a lot of head nods there. Andre says yes. Ella says yes. Shannon says yes. Tanya says yes. Nikki says yes. I can't see everybody, but I thank you for all of you that are saying yes. And last thing I'm going to ask before we break up here in the next minute is I want you to help your people understand that you take your education seriously. So I want you to post about your successes this week. You're going to get an email that's going to help you to celebrate your accomplishment. There's going to be a badge, and I want tomorrow for you to show up with one of the badges in the background, celebrating your successes and your commitments. And so you're going to get an email today. It's going to have those badges. I want you to post those badges. I want you to tag me. And the last thing I want to finish up today is talking about false beliefs about real estate. And these are all not true. But this is what we make ourselves believe. And I'm going to crush these beliefs this week. That you have to know everything before you start working with clients. False. That you need credibility and experience. False. You need to close tons of deals to lead generate. You need to get rich quickly. It's easy money. The reality shows show it like it is. There's only one way to get started. A bigger split needs more money. The neighborhood agent will show you how to will always win over you. You can't do it. I can't do it in my market. It takes too much time, too much money, too risky. My life will not and cannot be balanced. I have to go out and cold call or door knock. False, false, false. None of that's true. I want you to ask yourself before tomorrow's mission, before we get together, what will you accomplish today? What will you express gratitude today? Who will you help today? How will you make good choices? How will you choose to have the best day of your life? And what's the best opportunity to get hired by a seller? That is your daily CPI mission. It's all outlined that right there, and it's also in your email. So I look forward. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I look forward to seeing everybody promptly tomorrow at noon Eastern time. The homework's in your email. God bless you. Have the best day of your life. Make good choices, and go help somebody today. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.